And Retired Life Inspired begins now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But before we go any further, let me greet you properly in the name of the one true God, His exalted Christ, and the divine reminder in our midst. I greet you in their names in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Good to see you. Good to greet you again. Today's topic is about changes. We're going through some changes here at Retired Life Inspired that I will be alerting you to later in the presentation. But before we go any further, do please hit the like button down below. If you haven't already subscribed, do that as well. And also do share. It helps with the algorithm, gets the word out, and I greatly appreciate that support. Also, I guess I don't have to wait later in the program. This particular platform is dedicated to the 50-plus single woman who finds herself single, whether it's, she chose never to marry, divorced, widowed, whatever the case may be, and she's finding that she has to navigate through these different changing times, hint, hint, yes, changes, in a different way, not in the way that it may have worked years ago, because we find ourselves in new and interesting times. So you're going to see below a link. I used to always direct you to AnnieMOnline.com, but this is one of those changes I'm talking about. You will look now in the description below for Retired Life Inspired.com. Only makes sense, right? I think so too. So you'll see that in the description below. That will redirect you to AnnieMOnline.com, which at some point will also assume the name of RetiredLifeInspired.com as well. But in the meantime, we're just going to redirect you there. So do go ahead and check out the link below. That is a great place for you to learn a new skill set, to learn how to navigate into the digital world that we find ourselves in, and maybe even find a way to not only start a business from scratch, but also promote an existing one. You don't have to do it alone. You can get some help. So go check out RetiredLifeInspired.com. And let's see, I think I've done all the housekeeping. I think I've done it. I hope you're well today. I hope you're well. I have been going through a lot of changes, moving forward on a lot of things that I've been kind of hemming and hawing about, which prompted me to bring up this very important topic, change. Dear friend of mine, yes, I'm going to say it, she is the cool Canadian. She is the absolute coolest of them all. Sister and Kim, thank you for just pushing me over the edge and saying, fly. And get out there and finish what you started, because it helps, it really made a difference. So I thought we'd talk about that very, very thing, and that is change. Change. I saw an article, Psychology Today, that was actually printed October the 16th, 2020, when 2020, the year of change. We all know, we all experienced it, we all got affected in some way, shape, or form. I left the job I had been at for a number of years, and just knew that it was time to make that change. And as a result, just because we're in 2022, doesn't mean that we've stopped feeling that change. A lot of us are still feeling the repercussions of 2020. So what are some of the reasons why maybe change can feel a little overwhelming, and perhaps what are some ways we can kind of help make it not so overwhelming? In this article, I like the way they broke it down, but whether you're getting rid of a bad habit, you're learning a new skill set, or just making a big life change can prove to be very hard. And these are some 4 reasons I noted, cited in the article, and it will be in the description below so you can read in its entirety. I recommend that you do. It's pretty good. Some of the reasons why change can feel hard, and you might be able to relate to some of this if this sounds like you. Own it, but maybe we can find a way to make it easier. Sometimes, and I know I'm guilty of this, we find ourselves, changing too many things at one time. Oh boy, am I guilty of that. what that ends up doing is we end up becoming more overwhelmed, we lose focus, and as a result, we might even just quit. Because there's just too many fronts that we have to pay attention to that require change. So how to maybe avoid that? How about maybe organizing yourself in such a way where you take the most pressing one first? Baby steps. Just do one change at a time if you can help it. That way you won't feel overwhelmed. You won't have so many fronts to work on. And you can focus properly and actually finish it to its desired goal. So that's one thing to do. Another reason why people oftentimes don't like change is that it requires changing other things. Now, the example they used in the article was like, say, if you're dieting and exercising. Well, if you're dieting and you're going to change your whole diet, now that means you're going to have to shop differently. And what kind of diet are you going to be on? Are you doing keto? Are you doing paleo? Are you doing intermittent fasting? What are you doing? Are you reducing meats? Are you just only doing chicken? Are you just doing fish? I mean, what are you doing? Going straight vegan? That means other changes are going to come along. So once again, my suggestion is to take your time. Maybe not try to do everything all at one time. Maybe slowly, if you're changing your diet, maybe if you're, like, say, wanting to get rid of red meat out of your diet, just for instance, maybe if it was something that you ate every day of the week, maybe slowly pull it back a little, so maybe you eat it every other day, or even more so, you eat it maybe just on the weekends, but make it a gradual change. That way, once again, you don't get overwhelmed. I found that being overwhelmed was like the key thread through this entire article that made people just resist change, feeling overwhelmed. So I think one of the things we have to do is just be a little nicer, slow it down a little bit, and just ease back when we make the change. Eventually we'll get there, but let's move on to the next reason why change can oftentimes be really hard. This one is very common. The status quo is comfortable. We like being where we're at. We don't want to come out of our comfort zone. Why change? I like it here, right? That's a big one. So if you're really not ready for change, you may want to, in some schools of thought, you may just want to okay, don't for right now. Of course, in some instances, it can get really, really bad to where you're going to be forced to do it. But once again, if the idea of a complete 360 is just too overwhelming, here's that word again, to go forward with the change, once again, why not take smaller steps? So once again, overwhelm. We're really comfortable in a state, you might want to just try something on temporarily, maybe even. But all at once, no. And I think that might make it easier to come out of that state of being comfortable. So once again, baby steps. Finally, and there were actually, I think, 7 or 8 steps, but I only picked 4 out of it. This other one I thought was, this is a big one. Changing other people. And I like the way they phrase this, because if they said, like, if you really want to fail at change, try changing somebody else. That is like the biggest no-no of all time. I think that's something that a lot of people have tried to do, like especially in relationships or just friendships or family members, whatever. You know, the best thing we can do, the only person we can control is ourselves. Like coming on this platform, I can only present to you solutions or ideas or different perspectives, but at the end of the day, you can either decide to accept them or reject them, or maybe just use a few of them. But all I can do is present it. The only person that we really should be working on and that we really need to change is ourselves and how we relate to other people and situations. It's all on us. There's 7 billion some people on the planet. Good luck trying to get everybody to be exactly the way you need them to be so you're happy. No, it doesn't work like that. We got to work on ourselves. I got to work on myself. It only makes sense. We're with us for the rest of our lives all day long, 24/7. We got plenty of time to do it, okay? That's it, though, for today on Retired Life Inspired. Like I said, a lot of changes coming this way. I'm excited to see what we're planning on doing. Thank you for the push, Sister and Kim. Couldn't have done this without you. So, yeah, change is on the horizon. And if there's one constant we can depend on, and that is change. Continue to create your life inspired. Take care of each other. Look out for one another. Be good to yourself as well. Peace and take care.